Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition, the Tuesday edition, the very special Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 edition of the Disney Morning Show. My name is Stephen Mose. I'm the co-founder here of Lasting Place. Over there to my left is Kyle Burbank. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well.
Kyle coming to us today, not from his normal home in Springfield, Missouri. Is that accurate, Springfield, Missouri?
Yes.
Okay, but from his temporary home in a place we're going to mention later. I'm going to leave it out there. See if you can guess where he is based on his environment. All right, we're going to talk about what's going on in the world of Disney since we last saw you about 24 hours ago. Let's get started. Yesterday, the Disney stock price was 112 and some change. Let's see how it's doing. Let's do a refresh just in case and see how it's doing today. Oh, so far, actually.
See, that's where you lose those billions.
That's my problem. I've lost. But oh, we have a guest. We have a guest from where Kyle is coming from. Freddie Mears says, "Where are you?" Mickey B, our biggest fan, says, "A prison cell." Is she accurate?
Not yet.
Here's Ethan.
Good morning and welcome to another LP Disney weather report. Bright light city gonna set my soul. Gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn. So get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. And they're all living devil may care. And I'm just the devil with love to spare. So viva Las Vegas, viva Las Vegas. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim has a high wind warning today and could also possibly see showers around lunch. Other than that, it will be sunny and 71. Doobie's beloved Florida is broken today as Walt Disney World will only make it up to 54 degrees despite the sunshine. Castaway Cay is just 70 today and windy. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is mostly cloudy and will be 76 through the early afternoon. Disneyland Paris is cloudy tonight and the temperature is hanging tough at 40. Tokyo will break 50 tomorrow but won't go any higher, unfortunately. Shanghai will reach 52 tomorrow but will be overcast for much of the day. Lastly, Hong Kong will see a high of 67 tomorrow with sunny skies. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Hi. Sometimes you have comments about the weather and stuff like that.
I do have comments about the weather. Ethan, what the heck was Ethan with the black screen? Is he making a statement?
So my statement is that when I move from one machine to another, sometimes Ethan's uploads don't work the same way, and I need to make compromises to make sure that he appears on time.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And
Ethan was not as transparent as he normally is on my other computer for some reason. Anyway, we got news that Haunted Mansion Holiday next year, or well, this year, leading into next year, won't be available. Two holidays will not collide because it's not going to arrive until after Halloween. Next year, it will appear starting November 14th. I keep saying next year. It's this year. November 14th, 2025 through January 7th, 2026, 1 year from today. That's when Haunted Mansion Holiday will arrive. And of course, that's because leading into our next story, the regular Haunted Mansion will be reopening for the first time in a year or so because they were doing all that work outside. And in celebration of that, they're going to have a new sipper that's coming out, which we describe as the Beating Heart Bride. This is more like the original or the older Beating Heart Bride that before we had Constance Hatchaway. And this is also leading to rumors that perhaps this will be the version of the bride that will appear when the ride reopens. So the sipper will arrive on the 14th. The attraction opens the 18th. And then, as I said, Haunted Mansion Holiday won't return until November of this year. And yeah, all very interesting things. There's not going to be any huge changes on the inside, but this would be an interesting change if they do end up switching things up with the bride. So hopefully we have someone at the park on the 18th to let us know.
Do you think, since it won't be around for Halloween, they'll make the other holiday Thanksgiving and totally kind of maybe? Probably not? You don't think so?
I think so. I think it's very possible. I think there's going to be turkeys and carvings. I think there's some play on words they can do with horror there.
All right. On the other coast, Big Thunder Mountain has begun its large, long, beautiful refurbishment, not opening until sometime next year. And at this time, I do mean next year, not the way Kyle's been using it so far today.
I'm sorry. It's the 7th. Come on. Let me ease into it.
The walls have gone up. And we've got pictures of those. We've also got a listen. Let's take a listen to the new spiel for the railroad, which I'm so impressed on many levels. I'm impressed that they thought to change it. I'm impressed that we thought to get it. And here we go. Let's take a look.
The latter is more impressive.
All right. So when you ride the railroad, if you haven't been to Magic Kingdom, you go right past the beautiful view of Big Thunder Mountain. Actually, a really, really nice view. So let's hear what the new spiel sounds like.
There it is, Big Thunder Mountain. Now, normally, folks around here have a one-track mind for gold, but mining seems to have been derailed. They've been working on that railroad all the long day. Steam ahead in no time. Still bells and whistles.
So presumably the background chatter is not a part of the spiel, but
probably not. Can you zoom in on the sign, the construction sign, though?
Yeah.
I like a couple of little things about it. First of all, the character that they blame for this is the one that is Tony Baxter.
Is this the sign you mean?
Yeah. But at the bottom there, it says, like, if you have any questions or concerns, like, you can send them to, and I forget the initials, but then it's like, be patient or something like that.
Am I showing it here?
Kinda. It's at the bottom. It might be too far away to read, but I saw a close up of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, you be patient.
Yes, you be patient.
There it is. Cool. That is clever. That was a little hard to hear. We actually did transcribe the spiel. Not normal. Now, normally folks around here have a one-track mind for gold, but mining seems to have been derailed. They've been working on that railroad all the livelong day, and they'll full steam ahead in no time, hopefully with some new bells and whistles, and that will be opening next year. Goodness, Jimmy, this is pathetic. 2026 with, quote, a little bit of magic. So, yeah, we don't have a date as of yet. All right. I hope it's your turn because I am doing a mess.
Well, sometimes operating this show is a real pain. And if you want to see the award-winning movie, A Real Pain, awards nominated, it's coming to Hulu very soon. You can check it out January 16th on Hulu. It's got Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg, written by Jesse Eisenberg, I think directed by Jesse Eisenberg. And yeah, I know Kieran just won a Golden Globe for it, and it's has some other nominations. So probably something you want to watch if you're one of those people that wants to see all of the awards nominated movies during this season. You can check it out on Hulu.
Absolutely. All right, you D23 people, they are holding their first D23 Gold Theater virtual series event, Jolly Holiday, a D23 musical celebration of Richard M. Sherman, one half of the fantastic Disney legend Sherman Brothers team. More details have been revealed. Let's see, celebrating the life and legacy of Richard M. Sherman. The D23 Gold Theater will allow fans to enjoy pre-recorded digital presentations each month, beginning in January with this one. Host Greg Sherman, which was Richard's son, and Disney historian Tim O'Day. Happy birthday, Tim. His birthday was yesterday, so I'm sure he's out there. We'll share personal stories and commentary on the panel from D23. I know there's some details here, Kyle, that you probably will enjoy giving more than I do, so go for it.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm a little disappointed to say that by signing up for this event, D23 will not pay your internet bill. Apparently, you have to have your own internet, and you're responsible for paying that yourself, as their terms state. I don't know what's up with that. That's a huge disappointment to me as a gold member, although I'm not a gold member. And also, make sure that everybody else leaves the house. Vacate, seal yourself in a room, because you are not allowed to share this stream with anybody else. This is just for you, the gold member.
In your home, not just anybody else. No one else in your home can watch this with you.
Right.
Now, I wasn't clear from my article, is what they're going to be seeing what we're looking at right now?
I don't know.
Okay. I hope.
I don't know if we know in general.
Because we did say in our article, if those rules are too much for you, watch this down below where we have a YouTube of this Jolly Holiday, a D23 musical celebration of Richard and Sherman, which sounds an awful lot like what they're going to be presenting to D23. So,
Yeah, we'll see. But make sure you read those terms and conditions, like I said, because can't have people in your house and they won't pay your internet bill.
this is January 23rd this year from 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Kind of cool to have a live virtual event like that. People can kind of watch together over Twitter. Just be very, very careful that you don't let anyone else see it. And for you Florida residents, which sadly I am not, there is the return of the Discovery Disney Ticket, which is a great name. The Discovery Disney Ticket offers Florida residents 4 days to Disney World for only $60 per day, which is like a huge, huge discount for Disney World. Or you can do 3 days for $75 per day if you prefer. Those do not have to be consecutive days. They're for visits between January 13th and May 23rd. Reservations are required. But 4 days for $60 a day, that's actually a really good deal for that time period. So if you are not quite the level you want to be at AP, but you're still Florida resident that wants to get there 3 times, that's the way to do it. It does not include park hopping, but you can purchase park hopping and other add-ons for an additional fee if you choose. And yes, what we were saying about the the Richard and Sherman event is actually in their terms and conditions. That's not just us telling you rules, but those are the rules that they state. All right, and I think that's it.
We don't have time for,
but that's not going to stop us from bringing around. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you my favorite person in the entire world, Rebecca Mosley. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well, honey. How are you?
I'm doing fine. We're bringing Rebecca on so she can talk about a few things. Let us start with, before we get to the main thing you're on, let's just get to one more what's happening that I wanted to bring on with you, because I know you're a particular fan of this person, and Alex Mayer is going to be at the Festival of the Arts this year. So tell people why they want to go check out Alex
Mayer. First of all, because he has a long storied career at the Disney company and an incredible passion for all things Disney. So he's a delightful conversationalist, but he's also an incredibly talented artist. I have his last year, maybe 2 years ago now, he did a beautiful Cinderella portrait, but this year I see that he's got the Aristocats, Snow White, and Figment on board what is that? I forget what that machine is called right now in my head.
Something mobile.
Probably Imagination. I don't know.
It just totally popped out of my head.
What's the name of that mobile? Help out there.
Anybody in the chat know? Because I
Is it just the Dreammobile? No, that doesn't sound right.
That's what I wanted to call it, but that didn't feel right.
No, it's the Dreammobile. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So he's going to be there at the Festival of the Arts. One of the things that they do now that I really appreciate is they have these nice little IG-friendly graphics where they showcase what the artist is going to be bringing to the arts, their schedule, and then their tent location. So you're going to find Alex over in France. Back in the day, this was something that would be released in like a big just text-only list. And then I would go around and try and pull, and our team would go around and try and pull images we had of the artist, of some of their previous work, and try and help you all find them. But now they've got these beautiful IG graphics that they can share themselves. So yeah, so be sure to check out Alex. He'll be there over by France. Tell him Laughing Place said to stop by.
All right. So the other reason that we brought you here, sorry about that, is to talk about TGL, which is premiering tonight. What the heck is TGL?
Okay, so TGL is a new version of golf. It's a competitive golf. The Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods are some of the major players behind this new effort. And I'm going to steal the screen from Doobie.
Thank you. You didn't share, so I wasn't sure you were doing it.
Oh, sorry. I'm having trouble. That's why. I've hit present and nothing's happening.
Okay.
So, have I totally frozen now?
No, we can hear you, but nothing's presenting.
Well, all of my screens here have gone completely dark.
All right. Well, keep talking.
Okay. So
I'll show a different video here while you talk.
Okay. So if you pull up the TGL Twitter, they've got a lot of great graphics, but oh, you guys have gone now. I think I got kicked out.
You're still perfect. If you can hear us, can you hear us?
Yeah,
You're
I can.
still
But it's
absolutely
weird. Why
perfect
can't
for
I
us.
see you? Okay. Wait, I found you all again. Hang on. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking with me while I figure this out. I'm not exactly sure why my computer has done what it's done. So there you go. So it is competitive golf. It's played inside a stadium. It's going to be 6 teams of players, and each team has 4 players, but 3 participate in any given match competition. Let me get my bearings now that I've got everything together. The matches are going to take about 2 hours. They're going to be airing on ESPN. It starts tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. And this is a look inside the stadium that has been built in Florida for the event. The competition is going to be divided into 2 aspects. The first session is the team of 3 will alternate shots, whereas the second session is going to be the players going kind of head to head on select holes within the second portion. The dynamic is that if you win the hole, you get the point. If you tie the hole, there's no points. And at the end of the match, whoever has the most points wins. To think about the way the field of play works, the front half of that stadium shot that I shared at the beginning, this one right here, the front half is where the game will begin. And this is where you're going to see your longer shots taking place. They have 3 different dynamics with that. You're gonna see. I am dude, I'm still trying to get myself underneath. So here we go. So the front of box, they'll play off of either the rough, the green, or the sand, depending on where their ball has fallen. So this is a tech infused sport, and they're in a stadium. The players are gonna be mic'd up. So you're going to get a trash talking. You're going to get energy. They're really trying to kind of bring golf to a different audience. I am a golf casual, so pretty much when I saw this, the names Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, those are names I'm familiar with. Frankly, a lot of the other names that are here, while they are like top level golf players, they're not as familiar to me. But I got a little pumped with the idea of the tech and the energy, and then a golf match being kind of within a nice little 2-hour capsule. So this starts tonight over on ESPN. Some of my favorite ESPN people are actually going to be there in studio, like play-by-play and sideline report and that kind of dynamic. Scott Van Pelt's going to be hosting from his DC studio. We're going to have Matt Berry on play-by-play, and one of my most favorites over at ESPN, Marty Smith, is going to be a reporter there. I think that he's going to be trying to kind of keep the players loose and keep them talking, and because he's a party wherever he goes.
Maki is a party.
So do you guys have any questions for me now that I've rambled, because I got totally flustered by my
I watched they did an hour preview for this, essentially an infomercial. So ESPN's an investor in this. This is on ESPN exclusively. So, there's your Disney connection, obviously, plus ESPN being a Disney company. So, and we're going to try to cover ESPN a little more on the morning show here and have Rebecca on regularly, because that's her beat. She loves ESPN. She introduced me to ESPN, actually. So it's just, golf is it's a quiet game. It is a spread out game. I mean, you can't watch everyone play golf. You watch a hole and they kind of pass through you. So trying to adapt that to a stadium atmosphere could be amazing, or it could be a disaster. And I'm excited to see tonight, which it turns out to be 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, because it really could go either way. But I'm always for innovation. I'm always for trying something new, and this is something exciting to trying new. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, it's a little bit virtual, where you're going to have those larger shots are on created holes with designated par, and then when they get close up, they're moving into this amazing area that they've created. That it's the size of, they say, 4 basketball courts, and it's adaptable to reflect the green. And so when you get into the shorter, like 50-yard dynamic, Now you're going to be dealing with like actual like in the physicality of the
and that green
hole itself.
That green that can be rotated, and it's got a bunch of hydraulics under it, so they can make it be a different green for every hole, which is the way greens work in the real world, even though it's in the actual same location. And the whole trash talk thing, we'll see how it plays out tonight. Excited to see.
Yep, shot clock, other play.
Referee.
Before we move on, I want to encourage you, if you're thinking about watching TGL, visit their website at tglgolf.com, and they have a nice little test that you can take to find your team, because there's 6 teams. So if you don't necessarily want to be cheering for your regional team, they ask you a series of questions to kind of give you a team that you can pull for throughout this initial tournament. So tonight at 9 p.m. over on ESPN is TGL Golf,
which is tonight is going to be the New York Golf Club versus the Bay, which is interesting. They're not kicking it off with Tiger's team, which I would have thought.
Ricky Fowler is on the New York team, as I recall. So he has been the voice of a lot of the info videos and whatnot out there. So I think he is one of the major voices that they're putting kind of facing forward.
They worked really hard on their name too.
It's yeah, right. It's there's the notion that there's going to be people cheering and a shot clock and
let's go golf club.
Yeah, right.
Works for both.
I'm eager to see how this plays out.
All right, before we let Rebecca go, before we get to Rebecca's next segment, let's take a look at the Disney Plus and how it is doing. Disney Plus now lets you see what's actually trending, what people are actually watching. What are they watching? They're watching The Lion King right now. This one looks like it's the 2019 live action version. Paddington, so we're really into live action talking animals right now. Skeleton Crew, which doesn't have its next episode until Wednesday, so I guess people are trying to get caught up. Dream Productions.
You're not caught up.
Oh, I've given up. I've given up instead of caught up. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. That one is really out there. I guess people really like Mufasa, and they want to see more Lion King. Mufasa, a special look. I think, who said it? Mike Celestino or something said people think they're watching the actual Mufasa, and that's why that's up there.
Like, why is this movie only 5 minutes long?
Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. That's not Disney. Yes, it is. Extreme Makeover Home Edition just came out, so glad to see that's doing okay. Avengers Endgame, out of nowhere. And finally, Amber Alert, not a good movie.
And this is on the TV14 profile.
Yes, of course. What's on yours? You don't know. You think?
I don't know. I'm not going to bother checking right now. Probably that Amy Adams movie, probably Deadpool, and what else has been there recently? I forget. Oh, John Wick was on there recently.
Ooh, I've never seen that. I've seen like the first 15 minutes and think I really should.
One of the John Wicks. I'm not 100%. I think it was one of the sequels, but yeah.
All right. Do you have an intro ready?
Am I talking now because it's about food?
Foodie Friday. That's why you're here.
I'm not the pickiest eater, so I thought you were gonna talk about it, and then I would come in and talk about what I would actually eat if I'm going.
It's Foodie Friday on a Tuesday, so we have our food reporter here, Rebecca Mosley. We have Foodie Guide to Lunar New Year, which has dropped. So Rebecca, who is not as picky as us, is going to tell us what we should be eating there.
It's Lunar New Year, which means a lot of Asian food, which usually includes pork, and she doesn't eat pork, so she qualifies as.
She doesn't eat.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't eat pork. I'm a vegetarian, and Kyle is just an extremely picky eater.
So as I read over the foodie guide that we will definitely have a link to below, I came up with 3 enviable eats. That's what I'm going to call them. So check it out over at Lucky 8 Lantern.
Oh, whoa, time out. You have production value.
Well, yeah.
You created this just for this show.
Correct. I
Way
did.
To go. Oh, we have
it is
elevated.
It is the chocolate firecracker. It's going to be a chocolate mousse with ganache filling, and we're going to have some popping candy. Woohoo! I like popping candy. Next up over at Aunt Cass Cafe is the almond cookie bread pudding. This one's at the top of my list, frankly. An almond bread pudding with gooey almond center, some mandarin almond creme anglaise. That has me questioning it just a little bit, but I love almond cookie. So you've got toasted almonds and even an almond cookie. You're welcome, Nikki B. Anything for you. Wow. And then my third.
I can't get over this. We have to up our game, Kyle.
Good title too.
And then my third item is over at Pim Test Kitchen. Ooh. And that would be the Legend of the 10 Spices Flatbread. Kung Pao beef.
Is that a movie?
I know, right? Kung Pao beef, sesame spread, toasted bok choy, some Napa cabbage, along with an onion cilantro salad. Hopefully very light on the cilantro, because I'm one of those people doomed with cilantro being a little soapy on the taste buds, but garnished with radish and chili threads. Yeah, this looks super, 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 super tasty.
Awesome.
I already forgot what the second one is, but I'm down for the other two.
I am sad you didn't pick a vegetarian one for me, but that's okay.
It happens.
It was my enviable eats. What I would eat.
But I mean, okay. See, I can't pick one now because I don't have production value and I just look pathetic next to you. So.
Oh, tell me what you would eat.
No,
what
we'll
would
leave
you?
it at that. We'll leave it. I do like the snake sourdough just because it looks cool. So I want to get that for my son because he loves sourdough and watch him eat a snake, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, they had one that looks like a snake, right?
Tastes like chicken.
That would be great. Where is that? You're in charge. That's okay. We're fine. It looks like a snake. It's a piece of sourdough. It looks like a snake. Picture it.
It must be really hard to design a piece of sourdough that looks like a snake.
If you really want to see it, it's on our article, or we talked about it yesterday during Parks Talk. But all right, we're going to move on. Thank you very much, Rebecca, for coming in. Thank you very much for production value, which has just totally thrown me because I'm not used to such things on this show. So appreciate it. And don't forget to watch tonight, TGL Golf. Rebecca will be writing about it. I presume you'll be writing about it. You're on the ESPN beat. Don't forget to watch it tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let us know what you think. I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit about tomorrow because I plan to watch it tonight too. Okay, bye, Rebecca.
Bye.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
And speaking of abysmal.
Wrong screen.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I'm off looking at stuff. There we go. All right. And speaking of abysmal, Tim Allen has a new sitcom coming out and premieres tomorrow. And I might check this out. I'm a huge fan of Kat Denning, so I may check this out just for that. But Alex Rice wrote our review for it, and we did what we do, asked Chatty to summarize it for us so I don't have to spend time reading it. And here is what Chatty had to say. The show offers an engaging look at Tim Allen's personal passion for cars, blending humor and heartwarming moments as he and his team restore unique vehicles. Sorry. While Allen's enthusiasm is infectious, the review notes that the series might primarily appeal to auto enthusiasts with its humor and charm occasionally overshadowed by technical details. It's a heartfelt niche series that provides insight into Allen's life beyond act. This makes no sense. This is a sitcom, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to read Alex's final paragraph. Shifting gears is equal part old meets new, just like classic cars, the characters restore. The format is comfort food while the situations are current. The show feels like a rose-colored mirror of America's polarized society at the moment, one that has the potential to heal the divide. It's much better than I thought it would be. Predictable yet funny. Shifting gears is the type of show you've been craving. 4 out of 5 GTOs. Tomorrow 8 p.m., 7/7 p.m. This is hilarious. Chatty did this as if it was like a reality show with Tim Allen talking about cars. That is so awesome.
Okay. I had to jump in, you guys, because Alex's review has me so excited for this.
Really?
The way he described it, this feels like comfort food for the soul. So I'm super, super excited for this. So I'm popping in real quick. I'm going away now, but I just.
No, that's fine. I'm glad you did.
I couldn't not. Please go read Alex's review and then check out.
And he gave it a very positive review. And knowing Alex a little bit, this is not exactly necessarily a show he would have thought he would have loved given its subject matter. So I've never known Alex to fix a car. So go check it out. Heartwarming, good for the soul, as Rebecca says. And I'm looking forwed to seeing this as well tomorrow.
And the rest.
And following that,
I already committed.
I
to
know.
hitting
I
the
know.
button.
It was
Sorry.
my fault. It was my fault. We may not leave this episode up. This is just one of the worst ever. All right.
No, you can't cut Rebecca's production just because you got distracted in the middle of the chatting. I thought maybe you froze so completely. I was just like, oh no, did my internet finally drop?
So
And
you know
then
what's
you're
that? I mean, it's just all my fault for being an idiot because I read Chatty and then said, oh, Shifting Gears is not what I thought it was. I thought this was a sitcom. And stopped there instead of realizing, oh, you idiot, it is a sitcom. My idiot. I'm sorry.
Chatty's not taken over yet.
I will not let it happen again. I've caught it before. This time I should have caught it, and I didn't.
But speaking of Tim Allen.
Speaking of Tim Allen, he was on Good Morning America recently and talking about Shifting Gears. And while he was clearly hesitant, he also, the subject of Toy Story 5 came up. And of course, everyone's always asking for the deeds. He was not going to divulge anything, but given Pixar secretly. But he did say, quote, I've already begun. I'm in the third act now. It's remarkable what they've done. With Pixar, they didn't say, I couldn't say anything, but I wish I could. And then he actually dropped a little tidbit. There's a lot of real intrigue with Buzz. Jesse's got big trouble. She needs help. So it's a really cool thing.
Right
so we
here
now
in River
know.
City?
We now know everything we need to know about Toy Story 5. Jesse's got big trouble. She needs help.
With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Thank you. Speaking of Music Man, there are some new mini Mixits plush line. We talked about these a while back as being teased for coming for 2025. And what these are some of the Sensational Six mostly. And they have different hats inspired by attractions, except that there's an exception that we'll get to in a second. So we have a Fantasyland Prince Charming Regal Carousel Mini. That one up there that you see is
right. Let me do it in the order you're doing it.
Tiki Room Adventureland Mickey. The best one is obviously the Pluto, which people think is Winnie the Pooh, but you'll see that it's actually Pluto. And his hat is the Haunted Mansion from Liberty Square. You can see it's the gargoyle with the candlesticks. And then the last one is Donald Duck's Tomorrowland Astro Orbiter with an E because this is Magic Kingdom. But then, in addition to those four theme parks and Sensational Six or Fab Five or whatever you want to call them, there's also a Stitch one that's Valentine's. And I think he just has like a heart on his head or something, and an angel one as well.
Yeah, it just looks like a bonnet. It's cute.
So this is their new merch line that they will inevitably abandon in a few months. But for now, you can buy them at the parks. They're $23 in the parks. They're $20 on Disney Store. So, yeah.
You say abandon. I say complete.
I don't know. Like, it feels like these things come, they have like a hot moment. You got your Tsum Tsums, you got your new Wemos, and all those things. Remember Vinylmation? Remember when Vinylmation had its own store, and then now it's just, they
got your money and they
peter out. And then, or Wishables, like they still resurface every once in a while, but it was like you have the steady cadence, and then they're just like, nope, we're done.
I just abandon seems like, abandon is what they did to like VMK, where you're invested, you're doing it every day. This is a merchandise item. You buy it, you collect a few, and then they stop making new ones. That's not an abandonment.
And then you try to sell them off, and then you try to start a new collection. Yeah, they got to keep you buying.
Exactly. That is their job, by the way.
We talked earlier about Mufasa, and they released a Academy Conversation panel. It's about 10 minutes long, and it's got director Barry Jenkins, among others. And if you thought that he was a weird choice because his previous movie was Moonlight, which was well received by the Academy, obviously won Best Picture over La La Land, if you'll recall. He talks about this personal connection to this Mufasa story and compared it to Moonlight and things like that. So it's pretty interesting. And I don't think Mufasa is really going to get a whole lot of award nominations in the main categories, but VFX, it seems very possible. So yeah, you can check that out.
All right, our own Tony Betty, who was warning me about the dangers of AI, has interviewed or talked to the creators of Stugo, which is a new show debuting January 11th on Disney+. The new series, as Tony puts it, is one of the most unique in the 40-year catalog of the animation division. Follows 6 middle schoolers who get tricked into attending a fake academic summer camp by a mad scientist, which started as 3 months of learning transforms into an adventure of a lifetime on a tropical island filled with mind-reading manatees, giant fighting fungi, and fashion-forward mutants. And as I mentioned, Tony talks to the creators Ryan Gillis and Sunil Hall. And Tony will be joining us tomorrow to talk more about Stugo and other things animation. So looking forward to having Tony on himself to tell me what I got wrong in that summary of his article. Too soon. Kyle.
It's just there's no text under it, and it's not linked, and so I'm just like, that's not a thing.
That's a thing. Kyle, you can finally reveal where you are and why.
Oh, I am in Las Vegas for CES. I do not have my badge yet because I got in at 1 o'clock this morning, and I will be getting my badge right after this, and then hopefully getting a ticket to the Delta keynote at the Sphere. That combines lots of cool things. But other than that, I'll be exploring the show floors. There's a Disney event I'm hoping to go to learn about some Disney ad tech. And I've seen a few previews. So CES actually doesn't start until, I think, maybe tomorrow. I always forget. But the press events start early, and everybody's putting out press releases to tie into CES, even if they're not actually here. The most interesting thing I probably won't try it because I don't know how they can keep cleaning these things, but there's apparently an electronic spoon that makes things taste salty, even though they don't have extra salt in them.
So I saw a video yesterday of people talking to a robot, an actual lady sitting there looking somewhat realistic and having a conversation. And the thing Kyle's looking forward to is a spoon that makes things taste salty.
Well, you could lower your blood pressure by getting the flavor of salt without the actual salt, Doobie. This is revolutionary. Now, CS is a weird show because, like, you do have these, like, things that are actually groundbreaking, but maybe are only in prototype and never actually make it to market. And then you have a bunch of things that people are acting like a revolutionary, but they've been peddling them for 10 years now. And it's very strange. It's huge, and it takes over the entire city, but you really have to like try to navigate it and find stuff that's really worth your time and is interesting. I once went to one of my favorite parts is actually in the Sands Expo. They have a part where it's all smaller companies. It reminds me of like our area of D23. It's like the scrappy teams trying to like get a space at the big show, and even there, like you'll find some gems, and other ones are like, oh, so it's basically a subscription business for your dog where they just send you stuff monthly, but they start off with like, it uses AI to choose what your dog will like. And
I would like you
just wanted to say AI because that's the big thing right now.
Keep track of how many times you hear AI this week. I mean, obviously you can't, but that is clearly the buzzword right now, and it's just everything. The toaster they show is going to use AI, and it's just it's so
100%.
All right, now you can play it.
The fun stuff.
If you are a Walt Disney World pass holder, then a new magnet is going to be available for you soon. And as they do, they just kind of tease what it is without showing it. And as you could probably guess from the tease, it looks like this will be a Princess and the Frog themed magnet. So stay tuned for that. These are always popular when they happen. They usually give them away for a certain period of time at one of the parks.
I can't turn off audio, so I want to play the tease, but I can't shut off audio.
Okay.
And you felt
Definitely
that was
seems like a bayou.
Yeah, I would agree. Tony says they had those spoons a long time ago. They came free in cereal boxes.
I don't think that's the same thing. I think those were color changing spoons that changed in cold milk.
All right, we've got two today. Yeah, they're both about a minute long. No, this one's only 30 seconds long. This is a little overdue, but I wasn't here last week. This is someone who's been trying for 6 years, I think he said, to time the Avengers to midnight. And this year he finally got it. keeping his phone awake.
Four years, by the way.
Okay.
He was slightly off, but that's okay.
Slightly, but close. I would count that as a win. But yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't. That's cool. That's fun. And then this one, this just made me laugh so much. It's about 50 seconds long. It is what it is, but it cracked me up. Hope you can hear it well. Make sure the volume's all the way up. Yep.
The average person goes to Disney only about 3.5 times
a year.
No, not a year. Their whole entire life, like the whole thing.
Right. So on average, they go to Disney.
Yep. 3.5
about
times.
3.5 times a
Not
year.
a year. No. The whole entire
Throughout their
thing.
whole life.
Yep. The whole entire thing.
They go to Disney.
Yeah.
3.5 times a year.
Not a year. The
do you mean?
whole thing. Their whole entire life.
Throughout their whole life.
Yeah. Start to
They go to Disney.
3.5 times.
3.5 times a.
Not a year. The whole thing.
Throughout their whole life.
Their whole life, start to finish.
3.5 times throughout their whole life.
That's it.
Well, what is their average lifespan? A year?
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. I love that one. So I'm glad I played it. That was from Drunk Distery. And I should have mentioned the last one was from Keegan Guitars. And those are both on the Tikataka. Meanwhile, to be thinking 3.5 times a week. When I lived there, absolutely.
It's time for this day in Disney history where I quiz Doobie on different things that are happening that happened on this day in Disney history.
Did I click something? Our names weren't there before, were they?
They've been there today.
Oh my goodness.
I turned them on yesterday during the meeting.
I like them being on. I just don't remember seeing them today. All right. So, sorry. Go ahead and quiz me.
So first one, I'm not going to make you guess, but on this day in 1962, Haley Todd was born. She is perhaps best known as Joe McGuire on Lizzie McGuire, but I've been watching a lot of Growing Pains, so I've seen her several times as she played the runaway that named Nancy Reagan on an episode of Growing Pains.
Okay.
But on this day, back to my other tab, an actor was born, and Chatty was trying to write a limerick about a movie that I had no idea what it was. So I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to give you a two-word clue about this person in 1964. Nick Morgan.
Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage was born Nicolas Coppola on this day.
I should have said Nicolas Coppola just to show off, because everyone knows that is.
Everyone knows what a popcorn movie is, and everyone knows that's Nicolas Coppola.
But he did not want to skate on the family name. He wanted to make it on his own, earn his millions.
He wanted to break free of that cage by embracing the cage. Yeah. On this day in 1971, an actor was born. Here is their limerick. There once was a sharpshooter so keen, whose voice in a Disney film was seen. As a snowman so bright, he brought joy and delight and made winter feel cozy and clean. I now don't know. I didn't read, like you, I did not read the second half of that limerick. I read the first one. I go, okay, that's good enough.
I presume it's Josh Gad?
No, I would focus on, I don't know if they're confusing this person with Josh Gad, because the snowman part, I would focus on the sharpshooter part, and maybe he's an Avenger of some sort.
Oh, the guy who got very badly injured and is now doing well.
That's Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
Not Josh Gad.
No.
Did he voice a snowman that I'm unaware of? Like I saw the snow part, and I was thinking that it was tying into the Hawkeye film, which takes place at Christmas. But yeah, now Chatty having an off day.
So when I tried to search for Jeremy Renner snowman just to see, and when I type in snow, plow comes up, of course, which is not the autocorrect I was looking for.
On this day in 1977, an actor was born. I did not write a limerick for this, but he was on a Disney Channel show that was canceled and then became a hit NBC show.
Is this the guy from Saved by the Bell?
It is. I will give that to you. It is the guy for Saved by the Bell.
Not the one I was
Dustin
thinking of.
Diamond. Yeah.
Not the one I was thinking of. It should have been because he was the youngest of the bunch. Used to see him at Disneyland.
Yeah, he was on This Morning, Good Morning Miss Bliss, which was on Disney Channel, and then became that.
Is he? Is he? Okay. I don't. For somewhere in my head, he had passed away, but he is not.
He is. That's why I said late. Yeah.
Oh, he is passed away. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Duh. Thank you, Google, for giving me a terrible result.
Wow, everything is failing us today. On this day in 1992, an attraction opened at Disney MGM Studios that is kind of still around, but not really, and will be officially replaced next year.
Hawkeye's birthday is not today. Jeremy Renner's birthday is today. They are two separate creatures. I have no... Muppet Vision?
It replaced a Muppet attraction, incidentally.
I don't know.
The answer is The Voyage of the Little Mermaid.
Oh, of course. Come back, Little Mermaid. Come back. I miss you.
Yes, so the new version, which is not called Voyage of the Little Mermaid, and I can't recall what it is called right now, will be opening next. I think they said summer or spring. It was supposed to open last year.
Yeah.
And then finally,
I almost said this year. I almost pulled a Kyle.
Doobie already knows this one, but on this day in 2008, Disney's Hollywood Studios in this transparent PNG officially became Disney's Hollywood Studios after changing from Disney MGM Studios.
My name is Gideon. I am 6 years old. I am a Disney shareholder, and is the name of Disney's Hollywood Studios can be renamed?
I didn't understand the second part. Is the what, Gideon?
The name of Disney's Hollywood Studios can be changed.
The name of Disney Hollywood Studios
Yeah.
being changed. No, it is being changed? Not announced. We used to be MGM Studios. We changed it to Hollywood Studios. And we're doing some significant work there right now that I guess will result in a name change. But now we can announce that. Not been announced, right? No. We'll announce that we're changing the name, but we won't announce what we're changing it to. How's that? We're not changing it to Rogue One.
10 years later, we're still waiting.
Thank you so much, Inside the Magic, for getting that video of my son, and it makes me smile so much. All right,
by the way,
are we done?
A little different 10 years ago as well. Both Gideon and that site.
We're just going to say
Big
thank
changes.
you. Yes, that was back in the, I don't know if it was still Ricky's days. I guess it probably was.
Yes.
But yeah, that was my son at the shareholder meeting when they announced, without intending to, that they were going to change the name again, and still have not. So
they did try, but they came up with some really terrible names.
All right, folks, I believe we are done. We will be back tomorrow. Kyle will have some CES excitement to share with us, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
And we do plan to have Tony on tomorrow to talk some animation, including Stugo and whatever else pops up. So until then, au revoir.
Bye.